Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Tonight is going to be my first episode of Hite versus McCabe. Tonight I'm going to be reading a complaint that was filed in the Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas. This lawsuit was filed 7 years ago. We might have to do several parts to read this complaint, but we're going to get right into it. Let me know if the sound is good. Can we get a sound check? I know you guys can hear my big mouth, but I just want to make sure the music isn't overpowering. Okay. This is a public court docket. I will not be changing or withholding names. I will not be using all of the last names through the whole thing because it's a lot of repetitiveness. Let's get into it. This complaint was filed in the Court of Common Pleas of Blair County, Pennsylvania Civil Division on December 16th, 2019. The plaintiffs are Stephanie and Andrew Hite and Trade Secrets, and they hereby file this complaint against Catherine McCabe, Travis McCabe, and Green Bean Coffee House, seeking special damages, money damages, presumed damages, and punitive damages, and state the follow as follows. Names in this action. Trade Secrets, LLC, Andrew Hite and Stephanie Hite, collectively, Trade Secrets, bring this action for defamation, business disparagement, and tortious interference arising out of, inter alia, the defendants' false, defamatory, and malicious statements published on various social media and broadcast news outlets. Defendants Catherine McCabe and Travis McCabe, in concert with one another, individually and on behalf as agents of Green Bean Coffee House, LLC, launched a defamatory smear campaign against Trade Secrets and Mr. and Mrs. Hite when they falsely and maliciously stated and asserted that Trade Secrets and Stephanie Hite had bullied and harassed fellow local business owner Rebecca DeArmond Hoover of Trends by Poppy, and that the alleged bullying and harassment caused Miss Hoover to commit suicide. Mr. and Mrs. Cabe's statements published on the Green Bean Coffee House Facebook page and on Miss McCabe's personal Facebook page and broadcast on a WTAJ news segment were false and were published with knowledge of their falsity or with reckless disregard as to their truth or falsity, and or in a negligent manner with want of reasonable care and diligence to ascertain the truth. As a result of the publication of these false and defamatory statements, Trade Secrets LLC's business reputation and Andrew Hite and Stephanie Hite's reputation and good names have been irrevocably harmed, and they have suffered other damage. Trade Secrets LLC, Andrew Hite and Stephanie Hite seek compensatory, presumed, and punitive damages from the defendants. Plaintiff Stephanie Hite is a resident. Plaintiff Andrew Hite is an adult resident also. They are a limited liability company organized and existing under the laws of Pennsylvania with its principal place of business, and I'm not going to list all that. Catherine McCabe is an adult individual. Travis McCabe is an adult individual. And Green Bean Coffee House LLC is a limited liability company organized and existing under the laws of Pennsylvania, and their address. The court holds personal jurisdiction over defendants because defendants are located in Blair County, Pennsylvania. The venue is proper because all of the events giving rise to this action occurred in Blair County. And anyone that comes in here and says weird things, just let them hear. They can say what they want. Right? As long as it's not defamatory. Here's the facts. The relationship between Trade Secrets and Trends by Poppy. Trade Secrets is a bath and body shop that specializes in small batch, all natural care body products. By the way, Trade Secrets is no longer in business. They lost their entire livelihood. Trade Secrets was established in 2016 and is family owned and operated by Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite. Trends by Poppy, Ltd., is a bath and body shop located in Altoona that is operated and owned by Ken Hoover, which it is also no longer in business. And that was established in 2016 by Mr. Hoover and his deceased wife, Rebecca Hoover. The owners of Trade Secrets and Trends by Poppy have had little interaction over the years. Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite met Rebecca Hoover only once. On November 10th, 2017, at the Jaffa Mosque in Altoona, the parties exchanged friendly hellos. Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite never considered the fact that both Trade Secrets and Trends by Poppy sell similar products to be a competition, and if it was anything other than a friendly business competition. In fact, on at least 3 separate occasions, Stephanie Hite had referred customers to Trends by Poppy. Upon information and belief, Rebecca Hoover did not feel the same way about Trade Secrets. In text messages, Ms. Hoover stated, quote, she had no respect for Trade Secrets, quote. Ms. Hoover also stated that she, quote, cannot stand, quote, Trade Secrets, and that, quote, she, Stephanie Hite, gets under my skin, quote. Ms. Hoover also stated that it made her, quote, sick, quote, that Trade Secrets would be present at a particular event. Despite Ms. Hoover's apparent personal animosity towards Trade Secrets and Steph Hite, on or about January 15th, 2018, Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite received a message from Rebecca Hoover. In that message, Rebecca Hoover asked Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite if she could set up and offer items by Trends by Poppy at a Trade Secrets event. Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite responded to Rebecca Hoover by stating that although they wanted certain Trade Secrets bath and body products to be exclusive at that specific event, Rebecca Hoover was more than welcome to set up at the event and offer Trends by Poppy's other items. Rebecca Hoover responded, thank you, quote, thank you. A lot of people asked me to come, but I figured I would ask since I carry different items than you. I will let them know. Quote, "Hey, Jen's mess. You're good, girl. Listen, we'll talk about it later. You're all good, though, girl. Some people see through the light." Privately, however, Rebecca Hoover apparently took Stephanie Hite's invitation as rejection, as she stated in a text message, quote, "I am done with everyone. I am focusing on myself now. I tried. I was the bigger person, and she shut me down." A former employee of Rebecca Hoover has stated she, Rebecca Hoover, was always obsessed with Steph Hite, trying to ruin her business, but Steph Hite never did anything. "I think Becky had a mental disorder where she was just so fixated on Steph." End quote. On or about a week prior to April 2nd, 2018, Rebecca Hoover met defendant Catherine McCabe. Upon information and belief, Catherine McCabe and Rebecca Hoover became close friends in a short period of time. On March 27th, 2018, Rebecca Hoover made a Facebook post promoting Green Bean Coffee House. In response, Catherine responded, quote, "It was so wonderful meeting you and spending time chatting. Feel like we've been long lost friends." Quote. Upon information and belief, the personal animosity Rebecca Hoover felt towards trade secrets and Steph Hite was fostered and encouraged by Catherine McCabe. As one person close to the situation has stated, quote, "I think she, Catherine McCabe, is the one who may have put ideas into Becky's head. I am thinking Catherine McCabe is the one who started all this craziness." Quote, end quote. Upon information and belief, Catherine McCabe used Rebecca Hoover to wage a proxy war against Steph Hite, with tragic consequences. On or about April 2nd, 2018, 1 week after Rebecca Hoover met Catherine McCabe, Steph Hite received a cease and desist letter from attorney Douglas J. Keating of the Tom Dickey Law Offices. The letter stated that Mr. Keating had been hired by Rebecca Hoover. The letter falsely accused Stephanie Hite, inter alia, of making false defamatory statements about Trends by Poppy and threatening Miss Hoover through third parties on Facebook. The letter concluded by threatening to have criminal charges filed against Hite. Upon information and belief, the alleged statements giving rise to the allegations of defamation in Rebecca Hoover's cease and desist letter consisted entirely of a March 14th, 2018 Facebook post promoting trade secrets that stated, quote, "As a maker, we take pride in knowing we make all of our own body care products from scratch, and if we do carry other local makers in our shop, we would never try to take credit for something that someone else has made. We are the only business in Altoona making the large selection that we do of natural body care products." These statements are entirely true. Trade Secrets is the only bath and body company located in Altoona making all of their body care products from scratch. Stephanie Hite's attorney, Matthew Gigg, responded to Rebecca Hoover's April 2nd, 2018 cease and desist letter and followed up with phone calls, but he never responded and he never received a response to those calls or his letter. On or about April 6, 2018, 4 days after the cease and desist letter was sent, Rebecca Hoover met with Altoona police officer Richard Fennessy and lodged a criminal complaint against Stephanie Hite for harassment and possible stalking. That is in quotations. Quote, possible stalking, quote. On or about May 3rd, 2018, I can't read all these comments. Hold on. Sorry, BJ. I handle things in court. When you defame me, I'm handling it in court. I'm not apologizing, okay? When you make statements about an individual that are defamatory, you will be held accountable if proven in a court of law. So don't come in here. Thank you. Maybe you should stay and listen a while. Then you'll learn the truth. On or about May 3rd, 2018, Altoona Police Detective Marshall Warling went to Trade Secrets and informed Stephanie Hite of the investigation and scheduled an interview at the Altoona Police Department. On or about May 10th, 2018, Detective Warling met with Stephanie Hite, Andrew Hite, and attorney Matt Gigg at the Altoona Police Station. The police report generated from the investigation states, quote, there are no elements of a crime of harassment involved in any of the communication. And quote, there is no evidence that Stephanie Hite had any knowledge or involvement in the alleged incident of being followed. The police report concludes, this incident is capitalized, unfounded. All capitalization of unfounded is on the police report. On or about June 2nd, 2018, Rebecca Hoover's son, Trevor Hoover, contacted Andrew Hite through Facebook Messenger, requesting information about the false and unfounded allegations Rebecca Hoover had made against Steph Hite and Trade Secrets. During the conversation, Andrew Hite explained to Trevor Hoover that Miss Hoover's accusations about Steph Hite were not true. After the conversation, Trevor Hoover posted a 1-star review on Trade Secrets' Facebook page. Despite Rebecca Hoover's false and unfounded allegations of harassment and stalking against Steph Hite, Miss Hite continued to refer customers to Trends by Poppy. For example, on or about January 16th, 2019, one of Trade Secrets' customers contacted Stephanie Hite and inquired about whether Trade Secrets could, quote, do a bath bomb party for her daughter's brownie troop. And if so, quote, what would be the cost per girl? Quote. When Trade Secrets was unable to host the party, Stephanie Hite referred her customer to Trends by Poppy, stating, quote, I also know Trends by Poppy on Plank Road does bath bomb parties for groups too. And they have them at their shop. The customer ultimately had the party at Trends by Poppy. Sean BJ, listen, I have statements that you made over about 7 years ago. Okay? So who started what? Leave me alone. Everything's being documented. And you're going to be sued civilly in the Blair County courts for defamation. You said I bullied Becky Hoover. You don't have any proof of that. It never happened. Leave me alone. Defendant's defamatory smear campaign. Yep, they sure do. So do I. Andrew Hite and Stephanie Hite met defendant Catherine McCabe. Hold on 1 second. I have to address this because you won't shut the fuck up, okay? I'm not apologizing to you. Your statements have already impacted me, my business, my mental health, okay? So leave the live. Do yourself a favor. Because you said I don't know what defamation is. I do. And I have every right to file defamation against you and your girlfriend and Amy Croft and April Goodwin. And it would be in my best recommendation and your best interest to leave my live. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not an idiot. Anyway, let's get back to it. You can just sit here and hang out and listen to the truth and realize why your statements that said I bullied Becky Hoover to death are absolutely false. Anyway, goodbye. I don't care. Just remember that. Your comments. Whatever. Andrew Hite and Stephanie Hite met defendant Catherine McCabe in the summer of 2017. Shortly before opening the Green Bean Coffee House, when Catherine McCabe visited the trade secret shop and introduced herself. At around the time of Green Bean Coffee House's soft opening, Stephanie Hite took a trade secrets gift set to Green Bean Coffee House. This is the last time I'm going to interrupt you, or you're going to interrupt my live. I don't care what your kid is doing. I have an attorney who is a 50-year law attorney who just won the very first anti-slap in Pennsylvania. Okay? It's on appeal, but we still won. Go read the docket, dude. Have a great day. Okay? Do not come in here and bully me. I confronted you. I said, hey, stop speaking poorly about my business. If you don't stop, I'm going to sue you for defamation. The police heard it last night. I was at the police station for hours last night. Okay? They have it. They have all of your statements. Okay? Leave me alone. I can walk up to whoever I want in a public place and say, please stop defaming me and my business. That is my right. It's just my right if I wanted to send you a cease and desist also with the same statement. Okay? Stop talking about me. Stop talking about my business. You guys have done enough damage. It's all over the internet. Okay? Leave me alone. Yeah, I am. I was shopping at Sam's Club too, and you guys waited for me to do all of my shopping, check out, walk the whole way down to my truck. You then flew by in your car, blew your horn, flipped me off, and then pulled around and said, you're irrelevant. Go kill somebody else. Okay? Your girlfriend made those statements to me, and I have not killed anybody. So, have a great day. You're not going to derail my live. Okay? What I say is factual. You said I called you a motherfucker and threatened you in the store. That never happened, and I have the video of it. So get the fuck out of here. I didn't threaten Alyssa. I never threatened her. If by me saying get out of the car and say it to my face, that's not a threat. Okay? Leave me alone. No, don't delete the messages because then the messages leave. So don't delete anything. All the messages are gone now. Thank you. Don't delete anybody's messages. Let them there. Let everybody see what these people are doing. I'm not responding anymore. Goodbye. Around the time of Green Bean Coffee House's soft, thank you, opening, Stephanie Hite took a Trade Secrets gift set to the Green Bean Coffee House. Okay, you're good. At around the time of Green Bean Coffee House's soft open, on or about August 10th, 2017, Steph Hite posted a positive review on Green Bean Coffee House's Facebook page, which included a picture of a Green Bean Coffee House drink and stated in part, quote, "Definitely do yourself a favor and stop by this awesome coffee house. Congratulations to Catherine McCabe and her hubby." Stephanie Hite and Catherine McCabe became Facebook friends at around this time. Yeah, leave him alone. We're not talking to him. Let him alone. We don't care. We handle our shit the right way because we're not going around and threatening people, making indirect threats and defaming people. So we're good. You just Trade Secrets opened a store in downtown Altoona in 2017. Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite chose the location because they wanted Trade Secrets to be a part of downtown Altoona's revitalization efforts. Trade Secrets partnered with other small downtown Altoona businesses to engage in cross-marketing promotion. One such partnership involved downtown Altoona coffee shop, the Clay Cup, a direct competitor of the Green Bean Coffee House. On or about October 11th, 2017, Steph Hite made a Facebook post announcing Trade Secrets' collaboration with the Clay Cup. Shortly after Trade Secrets announced its collaboration with the Clay Cup, Catherine McCabe unfriended Stephanie Hite on Facebook. In the following months, Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite learned that Catherine McCabe was bad-mouthing Stephanie Hite and Trade Secrets. In 2018, 4 local downtown Altoona businesses, Trade Secrets, Juice, the Clay Cup, and 1211 Brisket, all of which are women-owned and operated, came together and launched the Create 14 festival event, which had about 50 vendors ranging from food artisans to metal workers to a biscotti maker and bands playing on 3 stages. One of the main goals of the Create 14 event was to attract people downtown Altoona so they could witness the redevelopment of downtown Altoona and all that downtown local businesses had to offer. When the 4 women owners of Trade Secrets, Juice, the Clay Cup, and 1211 Brisket met to plan and prepare for the Create 14 event, they promoted it on Facebook, calling it, quote, "Meeting of the Minds," quote. On or about June 25th, 2018, Catherine McCabe's husband and co-owner of Green Bean Coffee House, defendant Travis McCabe, posted a meme mocking the 4 women business owners, Travis McCabe labeled the post, quote, Meeting of the Minds, quote, with a picture of the Three Stooges saying, quote, I have an original idea, quote. The post was deleted in July of 2019. On or about June 27th, 2018, Travis McCabe posted another meme related to his, quote, Meeting of the Minds meme with Leonardo DiCaprio holding up a glass with the caption, quote, If you feel butthurt, then cheers to that, quote. Mr. McCabe's public mockery of women-owned businesses in late June of 2018 was not the only time that Green Bean Coffee House's owners mocked trade secrets and Steph Hite. For example, on or about January 18th, 2019, Stephanie Hite posted a meme on Facebook celebrating Trade Secret's success that stated, quote, The dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. And I hope that goes on a t-shirt. Thank you for becoming a member, honey O. You are a barbecue expert. Thank you. On or about February 7th, 2019, Catherine McCabe mocked Stephanie Hite's post on her Facebook page, taking issue with Steph Hite's use of the word excuse me, use of the word hustle. McCabe's post equated hustlers with pimps and gamblers. The post concludes, quote, You probably think Squarespace. Hold on one second. Quote, Where I'm from, we steer clear of hustlers. Earn your money. Don't hustle for it. Quote. Yet, when Catherine McCabe was promoting Green Bean Coffee House when it was opening on or about October 6, 2017, Catherine McCabe made the following post. Quote, Stay honest. Stay humble. Always hustle. Quote. In an effort to promote downtown businesses on or about February 10th, 2019, Steph Hite made a Facebook post commenting on Starbucks Cherry Mocha Frappuccino. Quote, I'm not one for overly sweet, sugary drinks anymore, but I guess that's why I'm so thankful for the clay cup. It's my cup of tea and coffee and the real fruit smoothies from Juice. Quote. Catherine McCabe took personal offense to Stephanie Hite's February 10th, 2019 post promoting downtown Altoona women-owned businesses. On February 10th, 2019, on her Facebook page, Catherine McCabe attached a screenshot of Steph Hite's August 10th, 2017 Facebook post, where she was promoting the Green Bean Coffee House, with Stephanie Hite's name crossed out, stating, quote, When people post they aren't a fan of sugar in their coffee drink, to be spiteful towards you, yet you have their posts from when they tasted your green bean mocha, in parentheses, before you disassociated yourself from them due to their lack of integrity, parentheses. I scratched their name out for courtesy. As a courtesy. Next time, I will leave it in. Be sure to click the picture so you can read the review. I spent the past year and a half allowing people to lie about me and speak poorly about me in my business, and have kept my mouth shut. Consider this your fair warning that I'm done. I have a lot of other pictures and messages I will be glad to plop right here on social media. In the comments section to Catherine McCabe's February 10th, 2019 post, Catherine McCabe stated, quote, "There is only one person in particular that has a problem with me and likes to spread lies. This post is just one example of how this person speaks out of both sides of their mouth and why I have chosen to disassociate myself with them, despite what they tell other people. If they keep it up, I'll just share the messages of things they have said about their tribe with their tribe." Over the course of the next several months, Steph Hite and Andrew Hite learned that Catherine McCabe continued to make disparaging remarks about them to others. On July 16th, 2019, Rebecca Hoover died from an apparent suicide. Defendants used the occasion of Miss Hoover's tragic death to launch a false and defamatory smear campaign against plaintiffs designed to ruin plaintiffs' business and lives. Shortly after Miss Hoover's death, Catherine McCabe, Travis McCabe, and Green Bean Coffee House began a public smear campaign accusing Trade Secrets and Steph Hite of bullying and harassing Rebecca Hoover and of causing Rebecca Hoover to commit suicide. You can record all you want, BJ. And I ain't talking about Jackson. At the individual level, there is never a single cause of suicide. There are always multiple risk factors, says Christine Maudier, medical doctor, chief medical officer of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Yet the goal of Catherine McCabe's and Travis McCabe's and Green Bean Coffee House's smear campaign was to convince the small, tight-knit Altoona community that Rebecca Hoover's suicide had a single cause. The false allegation that Miss Hoover was bullied and harassed by Stephanie Hite and Trade Secrets. On July 25th, 2019, the defendants launched their public smear campaign with the following post on the Green Bean Coffee House Facebook page. This is the post. The Green Bean Coffee House was created. Hold on. The Green Bean Coffee House was created so that everyone in our community, no matter race, creed, political beliefs, sexual orientation, gender identification, financial status, nationality, or disability, has a place where they feel they belong. They are cared about, and most importantly, they are safe. Part of the responsibility of creating a space like the Green Bean is speaking up against atrocities. We have been beyond blessed with the community's support, an overwhelming amount of people that have told us that Green Bean is exactly what they needed. What we never shared publicly was that there was a small group of people in this area that did the exact opposite. This group of people spoke poorly of us, spread lies and rumors about us, sent us menacing messages, and tried to deter the community from visiting our business. All because we refused to collaborate with one of them when we experienced firsthand their lack of integrity. So why are we bringing this up now? Because today we said goodbye to a very good friend and fellow business owner in our community. Her name is Becky DeArmond Hoover, and she owned Trends by Poppy. Becky was a beautiful, kind, and gentle soul, and she was tormented and lied about for 2 years. Although Becky went through the proper channels to get this issue rectified, sadly, nothing was done. We spent all of our time as a community speaking against bullying against children, but we never address what happens to the child bullies. They become adult bullies. They become adult bullies that raise their children to be bullies. Please take the time to visit our friend's business page, Trends by Poppy Ltd., and share her story. Everything Becky was, light, love, happiness, still remains in that store. Her family has incredible plans to keep her memory alive and honor her with trends, and they need the support of this amazing community. Let's be a community that stops all forms of bigotry dead in its tracks. We hear all this talk of becoming a community that invites people from other areas in to raise their families and start their businesses. How are we supposed to welcome people from outside of our area when we have members within our community being treated so disgracefully? Let's come together and make changes. Not only... Oh my God, I just did something really horrible. Hold on, I gotta mute. I'll have to tell you guys later what I just did. I'm not going to interrupt right now, but dumbass. Only me. Just give me 2 seconds. Gosh. She says, let's put a stop to bullying. Make it a point to stop supporting those with ill intentions. Make it a point to stand up. Be a strong voice for those who feel alone. Green Bean Coffee's July 25th, 2019 post quickly went viral in the small, tight-knit, online Altoona community. It was reposted and commented on multiple times. Upon information and belief, although the July 25th, 2019 Green Bean Coffee House did not specifically identify trade secrets and Steph Hite as the small group of people that lied, sent menacing messages, tormented and lied about Rebecca Hoover for 2 years, and were the adult bullies who harassed Becky Hoover to death. Privately, Catherine McCabe and Travis McCabe were informing others that the parties referred to in its posts were Stephanie, Hite, and trade secrets. Upon information and belief, defendants encouraged those others to spread the defamatory falsehoods at the heart of their smear campaign, so the defendants could hide behind their false public statements that they never shared the names of anyone involved with bullying Becky Hoover, while knowing that the public knew their smear campaign to be about trade secrets and Steph Hite. The small, tight-knit online community, quickly and reasonably understood that the July 25th, 2019 Green Bean Coffee House defamatory posting referred to trade secrets and Steph Hite. On or about July 25th, 2019, in response to and in conjunction and concert with the posting on the Green Bean Coffee House's Facebook page, Blair County resident Kristen Dodson Thomas posted the following. So this is on the Green Bean Coffee House post. Since Green Bean Coffee House is too classy to call them out by name, I will. The business they're referring to in their post is Trade Secrets in downtown Altoona. I will never support someone who boosts their business by tramping on the backs of others and running their name through the mud so they can get a few dollars in sales. Adult bullying is real, and it has real consequences, and sometimes those consequences are irreversible. Becky was the kindest and most genuine person you could ever hope to meet, and now she's gone. It truly is a loss to our community. There's enough cruelty in this world. Fight the darkness with light and be kind to one another. The defendants knew, given the circumstances and timing of their July 25th, 2019 post and the follow-up commentary in the online community, that the public reasonably understood its post to be referring to Trade Secrets and Steph Hite. The defendants ramped up their smear campaign. The defendants did not limit their smear campaign against plaintiffs to Green Bean Coffee House's Facebook page. The defendants posted false and defamatory postings on Catherine McCabe's personal Facebook page. In one such post, published on July 31st, 2019, Miss McCabe directly links Miss Hoover's death to the alleged, quote, mistreatment of others, quote, which the public reasonably understood to be plaintiffs. This malicious, inflammatory, false, and defamatory posting accuses those, quote, others of motivating Rebecca Hoover to take her own life. The post is, while the person whose suicides ultimately make the decision, it is often a decision motivated by the mistreatment of others. This is an issue becoming more prevalent in our country, and the reason lawmakers are starting to work on punishments for people involved in others' misery leading up to their death. In an August 1st, 2019 posting on the Green Bean Coffee House Facebook page, defendants confirmed the public's understanding that those referred to in their defamatory postings were Trade Secrets and Stephanie Hite. The post is, we post this because we have been bullied for 2 years by local businesses. We have never stated who they were, nor would we. We are supporting anti-bullying because we have been personally bullied and affected. If people are assuming it's certain businesses or people, then I suppose there truly is an issue out there. As recognized in the August 1st, 2019 post, the public certainly understood that the target of defendants' false and defamatory comments, was a certain business or people, specifically Trade Secrets and Steph Hite. Rather than dispel the defamatory falsehood, defendants took this opportunity to encourage and foster the public's understanding that their posts were about a certain business or people, specifically Trade Secrets. stating that if the public reasonably understood its posts were about a certain business or people, specifically trade secrets and Steph Hite, it must be because there truly is an issue out there. In a series of posts made to the Green Bean Coffee House Facebook page on August 5th, 2019, defendants accused Trade Secrets of bullying Green Bean Coffee House for 2 years and again confirmed the public's understanding that the defamatory posts were about certain businesses, specifically Trade Secrets. Here's the post. You are correct. Grown adults should be able to settle issues privately or not even be in this situation at all. Unfortunately, this is a long, ongoing issue, and you are just coming into it blindly. For us, we have sent messages to the parties responsible to settle if they choose to continue. We have silently let them bully with little reaction on our end. The fact is, we have 2 years worth of consistent attacks and bullying from local business owners towards us. If we wanted to, we could post all of it. Clearly, we have not done that, and we have never mentioned anyone by name. I don't know if you know what it feels like to have someone messing with you for that length of time, but I will tell you, it's terrible. On August 15th, Stephanie Hite received a private message that stated, quote, lots of questions going on in the community, and it's hard to know what's going on behind Facebook lines. We've supported your business and hope what's being said isn't true. But if it's not, you need to address it because your name is being thrown around town like crazy. To which Miss Hite responded, yes, we are being falsely accused of something horrific. I have been harassed daily for 5 weeks now, and it is heartbreaking to see a community believe rumors and lash out at me. I grew up in Altoona. I have raised my children and now my grandchildren here. I want nothing but to be positive and grow my downtown community. On August 22nd, 2019, long after defendants were aware the public reasonably understood who they were targeting and commenting about, the defendants announced an anti-bullying campaign that they would use to further their smear campaign of Trade Secrets and Stephanie Hite. In the last month, we have openly addressed adult bullying in our community. We have been contacted by an alarmingly high amount of residents and business owners that have shared their own experiences. There seems to be a consistent statement with everyone that has shared their story with us. I was always too ashamed and embarrassed to admit that, as an adult, I am being bullied. In honor of our dear friend Becky DeArmond Hoover, who was a victim of adult bullying, we will be partnering with our friend Ken Hoover and Trends by Poppy to launch our adult anti-bullying campaign in October, National Anti-Bullying Awareness Month. This campaign will be dedicated to spreading awareness of adult bullying in our community and provide training and certified workplace bullying facilitator Jacqueline Harpster, LPC, licensed professional counselor, to area businesses and business professionals. If you are a business owner or professional interested in learning more, please contact us. They give their email address. Hashtag Remember Poppy. Hashtag Bullies Out Blair County. Hashtag Community, not competition. Hashtag Trends by Poppy LTD. Hashtag Green Bean Altoona. Oh, this gets really fucked up. So just hold your horses. If you guys wouldn't mind tapping the little thumbs up thing, maybe sharing it out on your little Twitters, let people come on in and hear the story. Buckle up, Buttercup. Upon information and belief, what defendants meant by spreading awareness of adult bullying in our community was defaming plaintiffs as adult bullies who harassed Becky Hoover and caused her to commit suicide. The defendants could have done a number of things to honor and remember Rebecca Hoover. Defendants could have, for example, launched a suicide prevention campaign bringing awareness to the troubling fact that Blair County has outpaced the nation in suicide rates. Instead, the defendants launched an anti-bullying campaign designed to focus the public's attention on the defendants' defamatory smear campaign, all in an attempt to maliciously and vindictively ruin plaintiffs' business and lives. An August 1st, 2019 post on the Green Bean Coffee House Facebook page makes crystal clear the malicious motives behind defendants' anti-bullying campaign. Quote, "As a community, we need to stand together against bullies by holding those responsible accountable. Remember, bullies never stop. They just find new targets." Quote. On August 23rd, 2019, Trade Secrets made a post on its Facebook post that expressed sincere sympathy to the Hoover family and denied public allegations of bullying and harassment that defendants were making against them. Within moments of that posting, the defendants posted the following response on Green Bean Coffee House's Facebook page. Quote, "Our intention was never to share the names of anyone involved with bullying Becky. We do not believe exposing other people or their businesses will do anything positively progressive or healthy. Our goal is for our community to understand something seriously wrong happened, and as a community, we need to unite and teach our businesses and employees that bullying is unethical and wrong. Thank you. If there are any businesses in this community that believe we are talking about them, we have no answer for that. We have never mentioned any names or business names, and we will not. We have also made it a point to delete comments from outside parties that may have stated a name or business." The timing and circumstances of plaintiff's August 23rd, 2019 response post once again confirmed the public's reasonable understanding that the business and people defendants were talking about was Trade Secrets and Stephanie Hite. The defendants knew the public reasonably understood that the business and people defendants were stating had harassed Rebecca Hoover and caused her suicide were Trade Secrets and Stephanie Hite. That was their intention. Defendants could have taken the opportunity to inform the public that they were not referring to Trade Secrets and Steph Hite. Instead, defendants took the opportunity to encourage and foster the public's understanding that the plaintiffs were indeed the business and people their defamatory statements referred to. Oh, just wait. On August 25th, 2019, the defendants posted the following on Catherine McCabe's Facebook page. "As much as it sucks to be the target of bullying behavior, The post that I shared last night is just an example of what we have experienced on and off for the past 2 years since opening the Green Bean. This is the kind of cruel bullying that my friend Becky DeArmond Hoover had to endure on almost a daily basis. They were ruthless with her because she remained silent. So for those out there claiming Becky was not bullied, I assure you that is a false claim. Becky saved everything, and she shared a lot of it with me. Becky would never publicly share a post calling out a bully, and that is where she and I are different. I believe the more you out a bully, the more you strip them of the power to continue their behavior. Hashtag remember Poppy. Hashtag bullies out Blair County. The false and defamatory August 25th, 2019 post accuses plaintiffs of not only bullying Green Bean Coffee House for the past 2 years since opening the Green Bean, but also bullying Becky DeArmond Hoover on almost a daily basis. And that plaintiffs were ruthless with her because she remained silent. In her post, Miss McCabe also claims to have evidence that Miss Hoover was harassed. Yet she chose not to share the alleged evidence so that the public could make up its own mind as to what behavior she alleges constitutes bullying and harassment. Hey, Breezy Ray. These and other statements that either directly state or imply that plaintiffs either bullied and harassed Miss Hoover or otherwise engaged in unethical and illegal business practices, which in turn motivated Miss Hoover to take her life, are malicious, false, and constitute defamation under Pennsylvania law. These and other statements have caused serious and irreparable injury to Stephanie Hite, Andrew Hite, and Trade Secrets, their and its reputation and its business. These examples are just the tip of the iceberg. The campaign to defame Trade Secrets was wide-reaching and encompassed multiple and diverse media platforms, including a news segment by WTAJ broadcasted on August 8th, 2019. In the midst and in the furtherance of defendants' smear campaign. WTAJ broadcast defendants' unfounded accusations that plaintiffs harassed Rebecca Hoover and caused her to commit suicide as fact and without performing any independent investigation. Upon information and belief, local Altoona, Pennsylvania television news station WTAJ has had a long and profitable commercial relationship with the Green Bean Coffee House. The Green Bean Coffee House has been the subject of product promotions by WTAJ on numerous occasions. A Google search of the terms WTAJ Green Bean Coffee House yields page after page of Google results of WTAJ's promotion of the Green Bean Coffee House. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Upon information and belief, these are all paid promotions, the commercial nature of which WTAJ does not disclose to the public. For example, on or about July 18th, 2019, merely days after Rebecca Hoover's tragic suicide, a smiling and laughing Travis McCabe joined WTAJ's John Clay live from Park Home in Altoona to promote Green Bean Coffee House. By way of another example, on or about August 9th, 2019, just one day after Travis McCabe and Catherine McCabe were featured in a WTAJ segment about Rebecca Hoover's suicide titled, quote, "Husband speaks out after harassment from fellow business owner leads to wife's suicide." The very next day, Travis McCabe and Green Bean Coffee House were featured in a segment titled, quote, "Green Bean Coffee House, Death by Chocolate." Upon information and belief, defendants used their long-standing commercial relationship with WTAJ to get WTAJ to take their defamatory smear campaign against plaintiffs to the broadcast airwaves. On or about August 8th, 2019, WTAJ ran a segment titled, "Husband Speaks Out After Harassment from Fellow Business Owner Leads to Wife's Suicide." The segment was by Colleen Knutson, a reporter for WTAJ, and featured comments by defendant Catherine and Travis McCabe of the Green Bean Coffee House. The segment did not disclose the commercial relationship between Green Bean Coffee House and WTAJ. WTAJ teased the segment during its 5 p.m. broadcast and aired it at the top of WTAJ's 11 p.m. broadcast. The segment was by calling... Okay, I read that. The segment did not disclose the commercial relationship between Green Bean Coffee House and WTAJ. WTAJ teased the segment and then they aired it at 11 p.m. The segment begins with WTAJ's John Clay introducing the segment by stating the following. Rebecca Hoover's suicide. Her husband, Ken Hoover, kept the store open, but struggles with what led to his wife's death. Mr. Clay's tone and approach in the introduction to present the accusations Ken Hoover, Catherine McCabe, and Travis McCabe have against a local business owner as facts and not as what they are, false and unfounded accusations, is typical of their entire segment. The segment provides no indication that WTAJ performed any independent investigation into the serious false and defamatory allegations being made, even though the segment makes clear that WTAJ knew that the owners of trade secrets were the ones being accused. To make matters worse, the segment implies that criminal charges could be filed and that the accusations being made are criminal in nature. Quote, WTAJ is not including any names of the businesses or people involved because there have been no charges. Had WTAJ performed even a modicum of investigation, it would have learned that the allegations being presented as fact in the segment had been investigated by the Altoona police over a year prior to the broadcast, and that the Altoona police deemed those accusations unfounded. Instead, WTAJ's investigation apparently consisted solely of contacting the district attorney's office to ask their involvement. Again, suggesting that the conduct alleged is criminal in nature and that the district attorney's office was involved. The segment also reports, quote, Becky took legal action against the local business owner. Quote, again, there is no indication that WTAJ or Miss Knutson did any follow-up investigation into the results of that legal action, or whether it had any legal or factual merit. To the contrary, the segment states, the legal action, actually made the problems worse. The segment includes Miss Knutson's interview with Ken Hoover, wherein Mr. Hoover makes unchallenged accusations of bullying and harassment directed at his wife by a local business owner. Ken Hoover stated, and she left a note. Now, I didn't know what I was going to see in the note. The only specific thing she mentioned in the note was about the harassment she received. Nothing about any medical issues she was dealing with. Nothing about financial problems we had. It was the bullying and the harassment that she put up with. Upon information and belief, WTAJ did not review the suicide note to determine whether it corroborated Miss Hoover's assertions. After Mr. Hoover's interview, the voiceover states, quote, other businesses in Altoona say they've been treated the same way by the same people. Quote, Catherine McCabe then appears and states, quote, they think harassment is showing up at your door and running after you and things like that. It is also the 2 years of bad-mouthing, the memes, and the social media posts that are being shared. Travis McCabe then states, God bless Becky. We all have so much we can handle, and I can only imagine being poked constantly, every day. Miss Knutson's voiceover then follows with, Ken said that the poking took a toll on his wife. By the time of the WTAJ broadcast, and given the circumstances around the broadcast, by then, the defendant's smear campaign against the plaintiffs had gone viral and was subject to intense public interest on social media. The public reasonably understood the target of the accusations was Trade Secrets and its owners. The WTAJ broadcast likely reached hundreds of thousands of viewers. It was shared by people in Tampa Bay, Florida, by a Tampa Bay, Florida affiliate, and was posted on WTAJ's social media pages, including Twitter, Facebook, its website. Within a 24-hour period, WTAJ's Facebook post on the segment was shared more than 700 times, and there were over 400 comments before it was removed. Upon information and belief, WTAJ removed the Facebook post because of hate speech in the comment sections directed at plaintiffs. The segment can currently be viewed on WTAJ's website. After the broadcast, WTAJ posted the segment on its website where it remains today. Shortly after posting it, WTAJ was sent an email from Gina Brandt, Stephanie Hite's aunt, that alerted WTAJ that the accusations being made in the segment were not true. Miss Brandt's email states in part as follows. As someone that is very close to the other side of this story regarding the suicide death of Rebecca Hoover, the owner of Trends by Poppy, I have to speak up and let you know there is a whole other side of this story. Unfortunately, the other businesses that is getting blamed for bullying and causing Rebecca to commit suicide is the one being bullied. There is a lot more behind the story. Instead of looking at the truth, this whole town is choosing to believe the businesses and family that are on a witch hunt to bring this business person down. The small piece of email the owner of Green Beans showed wasn't from the one getting the blame. And if you got to read the whole email, it was actually one trying to invite them to collaborate and get together. There are also emails from the person getting the blame recommending Trends by Poppy for bath bomb parties. Does that sound like a bully to you? You have no idea the problems and threats your irresponsible reporting has caused this poor woman. I hope for all your sakes that you don't cause her to commit suicide. You too are being a bully by sharing this story without all your facts. Shame on all of you. This story has caused her mother to become very ill from the stress, and I want no more problems for them. They've even had threats to burn their business down. I'm so disheartened at the people in this town choosing to condemn and jump on the bandwagon without all the facts. Upon information and belief, WTAJ did not respond to Miss Brandt's email. Upon information and belief, WTAJ did not conduct any follow-up investigation into the false and defamatory accusations made in the segment. On or about Monday, November 4th, at 3:10 p.m., plaintiffs and another local business owner received an email from a yahoo.com email named Expose T, which stated, I wanted to reach out to both of you to tell you some information I found out. Ken Hoover went on TV and pushed the idea that you were all responsible for bullying his wife into suicide. Ken Hoover already has a girlfriend. Yes, the grieving widow has a girlfriend. He had her at his house and at Rebecca's business right after she committed suicide. He was already secretly seeing her when the segment aired on WTAJ. You accused me of bullying Becky Hoover to death. You will be held accountable. Yes, the grieving widow has a girlfriend. He has had her at his house and at Rebecca's business right after she committed suicide. He was already secretly seeing her when he aired his segment on WTAJ. Rebecca had shared with her friends and family that she believed that Ken was having an affair. Now, seeing how fast he has gotten over his wife, it has several wondering if this was the affair that Rebecca had suspected. He went on TV and blamed you all for her suicide, letting out the part that he was having an affair. You were his scapegoat. Not only is the entire thing twisted, but his mistress went to the suicide walk as a supporter. None of her family and friends knew this information. I just felt you all should know the full story. And eventually, everyone will see Ken Hoover for the fraud he is once they hear how fast he got over his wife's suicide. We do know the truth. But here you are. Maybe instead of going live on TikTok, you could have stayed here and listened to it. How about this, BJ Harpster? How about this? When you publicly, you, Amy, and Alyssa Barber, all three of you, and Chaps, when all four of you publicly apologize for falsely accusing me of bullying Becky Hoover to death, then I'll apologize. The aftermath of defendant's defamatory smear campaign. I don't think so. You know why? Because facts matter. These people aren't stupid people. Plaintiff's defamatory smear campaign achieved its intended effect. The public reasonably understood the target of the defendant's defamatory smear campaign was Trade Secrets and its owners, Stephanie Hite and Andrew Hite. By way of example, members of the public directly messaged Trade Secrets and treated as fact the false and defamatory accusation made against plaintiffs. One such message claimed that the messenger learned about how you have been bullying Trends by Poppy for one thing, shame on you, and I will not be promoting anything from you. I will be telling all of my family or friends not to buy from you as well. One person wrote in a private message, I can't believe the shit I heard about Becky from Trends by Poppy. Everyone is talking about Stephanie from Trade Secrets and how she tortured her. Green Bean's post was spot on. Hold on one second. Hold on. She threw her phone in my face? I didn't throw my phone. God, just go somewhere. Just listen. Just sit there and listen. How about that? Go drink your fucking craft beer and leave me alone. Go drink your NA beer. Maybe you should be drinking NA beer because you don't know how to act on beer. Another private message stated, I was told Rebecca Hoover committed suicide because she was bullied by Stephanie Fink Hite that owns Trade Secrets. Other comments on various social media platforms, including direct messages directed at plaintiffs on Facebook and Twitter, included the following hateful statements. Your immortal, gross acts are inexcusable. I recently heard news of how you treat people. I will never shop at your store again and will advise friends to discontinue also. Horrible people you are for bullying someone to death. Mean and evil. It's sad, it's sick, it's appalling, it's disgusting, it's cruel, it's so many things. A wise person would admit they wronged someone, ask for forgiveness, and move on. Right, BJ? These business owners should be shut down and arrested. Bullying needs to come to an end. We won't be shopping at Trade Secrets ever again. Bullies. Makes me sick. Would never buy from them again. There's no witnesses. There is literally nothing. Why would... You're a liar. Don't even say that. Doesn't even matter. There's no witness. Trade Secrets, because hearsay is not a witness, okay? Hearsay... I didn't put my phone in your face. I wasn't even 10 feet from you, dude. Anyway, goodbye. Nothing that you guys say is going to change the past of what happened to Steph and Andy Hite and what Catherine McCabe did. And the evidence of the text messages that they all shared. Okay? It'll all come out. And then you guys will be over there. Bloop, bloop. Trade Secrets lost my business. I'll never set foot in there. What a shame that someone lost their life because other adults are acting like fools. Buy Trade Secrets. Hashtag buy Trade Secrets. Hashtag remember Poppy. It's Trade Secrets. I don't get why they aren't called out. I will never shop or buy from Trade Secrets again or shop anywhere that sells their products. To know that you bullied someone to the point of death is horrible and disgusting. I encourage everyone to do the same, unlike their page, and stop supporting bullies. Hashtag stop the bullin'. Shameful. Hashtag shop trends by Poppy. Hashtag remember Poppy. This is so wrong. Thanks for the info. Won't go there, period. In response to a Trade Secrets promotion, a comment says, dang, would love this, but no can do on supporting this company anymore. BJ, you publicly defamed me. You publicly defamed me and said I had a hand in Rebecca Hoover's suicide. Your girlfriend publicly defamed me. She yelled out the window at me, go kill someone else. She made a public statement stating that I bullied Becky Hoover to death. I will never shop or buy from Trade Secrets again or shop anywhere. Okay, I already read that one. This is wrong. Thanks for the info. They bully people until they kill themselves. I didn't post your address on YouTube. The live is still up. Go back and read the transcripts, buddy. Oh, you guys can kick fucking Melissa out. Bye, bitch. Huh. If what barbecue lady is not factual, then it's going to come out in court. Yeah, exactly. You have the video. I didn't dox you. Hey, everybody. Let's just take a little break right now since we have a special guest in here. Please inform BJ Harpster that doxing does not qualify to be doxing if your information is on a simple Google search. That's not doxing, okay? You need to learn what doxing is. I did not give out the numbers of your address, okay? And to be honest, the street that you live on, without going into the east and west sides of it, is 17 blocks long, okay? I was at the police station yesterday, okay? Not doxing, okay? It's not doxing. I know you think you know everything, And I know you think you're going to intimidate me. And you're upset. Well, you should be upset at yourself. You should be upset for publicly coming on the internet and saying that I bullied Becky Hoover to death. Yeah, I do want to bet. Look at everybody in here. Read the room. It's not doxing to say 21st Avenue. Just letting you know. Let's get back to the things said about trade secrets. That's who I was told to, adults acting like this. Imagine their parenting skills. I was wondering if it was them. I'm shocked. They're constantly promoting other businesses. I've shopped there and have referred a lot of businesses there. Let's see how their new location does now that the word is out. I don't care what anyone has to say about them. The behavior of pushing someone to the point they didn't want to leave their home and pushed to take their own life is disgusting. And I'll never, ever stop saying that. Hey, if you think you're going to get an apology and you're going to run your dick sucker in my fucking live, you're not. You're never getting an apology. I haven't defamed you. I literally told you guys I did not bully Becky Hoover to death, and you are still in here. Well, same. Same, dude. I don't even want to leave my fucking house. Okay? Next, this business bullies other businesses. Yeah, public information is not doxing. Exactly. Becky Hoover has been harassed, stalked, and tortured. These are comments, by the way, in some of these. I'm still reading comments. Becky Hoover has been harassed, stalked, and tortured by Steph Hite for over 2 years. Becky even had to have the courts serve Stephanie with a cease and desist to try to stop it. Just thought you should know the truth will prevail, and thank God there's a trail of legal documents and police reports to prove it. Well, I didn't publish your address. Go find it. I didn't edit the live. The transcripts are there. Your address was never posted, so please stop accusing me of a crime that I did not commit, because that is a crime to accuse somebody of a crime that they didn't commit. Just to let you know. Yeah, that's not doxing. Listen, this guy, whatever. Yeah, meanwhile, Barbecue walks into Sam Clubs and the employees literally love her. Exactly. Sorry, it was the first time I ran into you guys, and, you know, why wouldn't I say something about all the horrible shit you wrote about me online years ago? You think that it just goes away because years go away? No. I leaned in, I said, hey guys, keep defaming my business online and I'm going to sue you for defamation. You said, do it. Anyway, I'm not even wasting any more fucking time on this. I'm here doing a case review of something that maybe you should listen to so that you understand how your statements were defamatory. All right. So sad that a local business would do this to another local small business. We don't care. We don't know nothing about your parenting and we don't care. We don't talk about people's kids in here. Well, under my information and belief, that's true. It's not defamatory if I don't know it to not be true. Nice try, though. But keep going. I mean, I could talk about all the things that I have proof of things that went on there, but I'm leaving it. People that were in there cooking food for people and not ringing them up and, hey, just throw me money in my tip jar. Yeah, that was witnessed by other people, not just me. And over-serving people that were already intoxicated and walked in there shit-faced, that's against the law. So, whatever. Keep going. Views of Trade Secrets Yelp page increased dramatically in August 2019, and the page was flooded with negative reviews, such as the following. Well, that's not the impression that I got from secondhand information from somebody. You're trying to attack a business that is no more. It's kind of pathetic. I'm not attacking a business. I'm reading a public complaint. Okay? You obviously have no idea what goes on the internet, okay? This is a public complaint filed in the Blair County Court of Common Pleas. It is public information. It is a public case. And it is regarding defamation. Yeah, accusing someone of causing someone's suicide is fucking defamation. You're not going to win in here. We're not attacking any business. I'm literally reading a public filing. Views of Trade Secrets Yelp page increased dramatically in August 2019, and the page was flooded with negative reviews, such as the following. This business deserves 0 stars. The owners are bullies and bullied the owner of a similar business in town so much that she committed suicide. Don't shop here. This preview provided a link to the WTAJ segment. Another comment, review. I totally agree. I would not shop there, and the products that I have from there were thrown in the garbage. I want you to know I didn't buy the products. They were given to me as a gift. I wouldn't even have given them a star, but you had to put something on here. Don't go after my friends. I'm not apologizing. I'm suing you, and you're in here harassing me. I can't believe, this is another review. I can't even imagine pushing someone to the point of taking their own life and leaving behind their family just because their business owner felt the need to act like a high school mean girl. Well, when the process server shows up, hopefully you don't do anything to them like you threatened in your live. I am allowed to use my rights to sue for defamation in the court of law. But thanks. Every comment you write here is literally documented. All right, next review. Just as others have said, she is a bully. She tormented somebody to death, literally. She couldn't handle having competition, which is a shame because there was plenty of room for both shops. I hope everyone knows by now what she and her clique have done, not to just that poor woman, but to other businesses as well. He wants me to apologize because I walked up behind them at the Sam's Club customer service. I leaned in and said, "Hey, if you keep trashing my business online, I'm going to sue you for defamation." And he said, "Go ahead." You're not going to bully me. The backlash defendant's smear campaign created and the damage it caused were immediate, devastating, and are ongoing. The Trade Secrets Facebook page received 190 unlikes the day after the WTAJ segment aired and has received 911 unlikes from the inception of defendant's defamatory smear campaign in July to November 19th, 2019. As a result of defendant's defamatory smear campaign, Trade Secrets sales have plummeted. They're allowed to have their opinion. That's the thing. That's what you don't understand. People can say what they want. I could call you a piece of shit. I could say I hate your guts. I could say you need help. I'm allowed to say that. We live in America, and we have the First Amendment right, which is freedom of speech, but you cannot defame people. I don't understand how many times you need to be told. Yeah, exactly. As a result of defendants' defamatory smear campaign. Now, mind you, this is back in 2019 this was filed. Nobody's... yeah, we spread actual fact. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you have the same freedom, but you don't. You literally defame me on your public social media post saying I bullied Becky Hoover to death. What proof do you have? That's what you'll be required to provide within 20 days after you're served. Good luck. Anyway, as a result of defendants' defamatory smear campaign, Trade Secrets sales plummeted. Trade Secrets lost 46% of its average sales. Approximately $65,000 in lost sales, and the damages is continuing and ongoing. This was just the first... This was not even a first full year. $65,000. Imagine 7 years of lost income. 7 years forking out for this lawsuit. Tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars. And I can speak on my opinion on that because my attorney bills were tens and tens of thousands, and I haven't been in the lawsuit for 7 years. And it's civil. It's not criminal, just so you guys know. This is all civil. It's not a wild flex. It shows how... Never mind. I'm not even going to say what it shows, but it's up. Time's up. Prior to defendants' defamatory smear campaign, Trade Secrets enjoyed an average increase of sales of approximately 136%. After the campaign, that number was decreased by more than half. Trade Secret lost 46% of its customers per month average. He does love it here. He wants to hang out with all the cool kids. Due to the decline in sales caused by defendants' defamatory smear campaign, Trade Secrets had been forced to lay off employees. Because of defendants' defamatory smear campaign, Stephanie Hite has been personally harassed and threatened, both verbally and in writing. For example, on or about the morning after the WTAJ segment aired, Stephanie Hite was outside of Trade Secrets preparing for its opening when a woman pulled up beside her in her car and shouted at her, "Are you the one that made that poor lady kill herself? Glad you're running your mouth, grabbing attention to those who know things." No, we have opinions. We're entitled to them. And actually, you're getting the fuck out of here. Bye. Don't care. So someone came up to... Yeah, I'm quoting a filed lawsuit. I know. It's crazy, dude. The next section is plaintiff sends defendants a retraction letter. Although not required by Pennsylvania law, On or about September 27th, 2019, September 27th, 2019. We don't care, Sean Dioli. We don't care. Plaintiff sent a retraction letter by certified mail to defendants Catherine McCabe and Green Bean Coffee House. The letter identified several of the alleged defamatory statements and requested that defendants retract and correct the same. We don't care. I don't really care. Like, literally, I don't care. Oh. All right, thanks. Thanks for getting that for me. Appreciate you. Whoever just texted me, thank you. I don't even know why you're writing defamatory statements about yourself in here, because you literally admitted in your own TikTok live that you just hosted before you came back over here and said that it was you. Oh my God. All right. On or about October 1st, 2019, Catherine McCabe and the Green Bean Coffee House received the retraction letter. In response, defendants did not correct or retract the defamatory false statements, but instead posted a threatening, intimidating message on Facebook. Specifically, on Catherine McCabe's Facebook page. Defendants posted a picture of fictional mafia crime boss Michael Corleone from the movie The Godfather, a fictional character who murders, orders murder, beats his wife, and intimidates and frames his enemies. Yeah, thanks for the views, Sean Dioli. Chillingly, the post suggests that in response to the retraction letter, Catherine McCabe was going to be more like Michael Corleone. Let's all put some popcorn in the chat. Grab your popcorn. On or about October 1st, 2019, also in an apparent response to plaintiff's retraction demand, Catherine McCabe posted a picture of a laughing Ray Liotta playing mafia crime family associate Henry Hill from the movie Goodfellas, with the caption, quote, "Me when someone is demanding something of me," quote. A few hours earlier, Catherine McCabe also posted the following in an apparent response to the retraction demand. Quote, "Giving a response to an insignificant request or complaint only gives power to irrelevance." Oh shit, that's like you, BJ. Giving a response to an insignificant request or complaint only gives power to the irrelevance.
Do you prefer doing trust falls with complete strangers?
The plaintiffs did not cease their defamatory smear campaign, but instead continued to publicly post accusations to plaintiffs of bullying and harassing Rebecca Hoover to death. By way of example, only on October 20th, 2019, Paul Harshberger, an employee and agent of Green Bean Coffee House, posted the following to his Facebook page on behalf of the Green Bean Coffee House. This year has experienced considerable ups and downs within our community. The loss of friends and loved ones through the effects of business bullying shook many of us to our core. The Green Bean, though, stood up and took on this destructive issue. We can't bring our friend back, but we can certainly fight and draw attention to businesses whose only goal is to bring others down and who view business success as a threat. Defendants' tortious actions on plaintiffs is not limited to defendants' social media and broadcast television defamatory smear campaign. No, the green bean is still open. My friend's business, however, is not. Becky's business, however, is not. Catherine McCabe has also... Oh, and I just want to say to anybody that's in here, even you, BJ, if you're in here, just because there's people in here doesn't mean I know them. This is a public platform. The algorithm can bring anyone in here that can say anything they want. As long as they're not defaming, you know. But people are allowed to have commentary and sarcasm. Just saying. Catherine McCabe has also worked behind the scenes to tortiously interfere with trade secrets business relationships. By way of example only, Catherine McCabe contacted Heather Chesney, the facility sales coordinator for the Jaffa Shrine Center in Altoona, and told Miss Chesney that Steph Hite should not be permitted to hold events at the Jaffa Mosque because of the false statement that Steph Hite harassed Rebecca Hoover to death. By way of another example, plaintiffs have also learned that Catherine McCabe contacted Jennifer Finocchio, president of Downtown Altoona Business Community, and attempted to have Trade Secrets and Stephanie Hite removed from its membership based on the false statements. Count 1. Defamation per se. Plaintiffs hereby incorporate by referencing the above paragraphs of the complaint as if the same set forth fully herein. As fully set forth above, the defendants defamed plaintiffs by making false statement of fact, including those described herein, knowing the same to be false, or acting in reckless disregard and purposeful disregard of the truth, and thus with actual malice. Further, by falsely stating as fact, as described herein, that plaintiffs harassed and bullied Becky Hoover, and that the alleged harassment caused Rebecca Hoover to commit suicide, defendants made statements about plaintiffs that constitute defamation per se, in that they falsely impute criminal offenses, business misconduct, and other serious misconduct. As defendants' defamatory communications described herein constitute defamation per se, plaintiffs need not prove special damages for purpose of its defamation per se claim. I can't even see what he's writing, nor do I care. Alright, nobody talk about anybody's fucking kids. We all know the rules. We're not going to stoop to the trash's level. How about BJ? Why don't you come out and publicly apologize for accusing me of bullying Becky Hoover to death? Other than that, I don't have anything else to say to you. I'll see you in court. As defendants' defamatory communications described herein constitute defamation per se, plaintiffs do not need to prove special damages for purpose of its defamation per se claim. Oh, who's talking about whose kids? He wants to bring up kids. I never said nothing about nobody's kids. Explain that to my kids now that you did this. What did I do? So by me saying, hey, stop defaming my business, that's not a threat. Okay, that's not a threat. That's a public statement that I made to you. I was not aggressive. I didn't come up to you. I didn't call you any names. I didn't even fucking swear at you. Okay? Which, ask around, buddy. The F-bomb, just comes out. I said, hey, stop defaming my business or I'm going to sue you for defamation. Okay? That's what I said. Now scram. Anyway, listen, just ignore this dude. Ice him out. We're not even talking to him, okay? I know. Alyssa, you definitely deserve better, girl. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. You definitely deserve better, girl. At all times relevant hereto, defendants Catherine McCabe and Travis McCabe were acting individually, in concert with each other, and on behalf of their capacity as agents to the corporate defendant, Green Bean Coffee House. I didn't try to fight her. I didn't even leave the side of my truck, dude. She literally screamed out her fucking window to go kill somebody else, dude. Back the fuck up. Get out of my shit. You guys publicly accused me for a long fucking time of something you don't have proof of. So get the fuck out of here. You don't like that I confronted you? Then don't say shit. Bye, bitch. Fuck, dude. Publishing the statements to the internet websites accessible to millions of people worldwide on a daily basis constitute publication. Furthermore, defendants' statements continue to be published to internet websites accessible to millions of people worldwide on a daily basis. If you don't like that I'm yelling, then leave. Or I'll just boot you out of the live. I don't care. Bye. Here. Nobody cares. Get out of here. The public understood the defamatory meaning of the false and defamatory statements. See, I can't even host a live and read something without losers fucking interrupting it. Like, I deserve peace. I already kicked them out. They're good. Thank you. Snap your fingers. Do you see? Yep. Yes, every time. Absolutely. Defendants' false and defamatory public statements are described wherein applied to the plaintiffs. Plaintiffs has sustained reputational harm as a direct and proximate result of the publications of the erroneous and inflammatory communications by defendants. The defendants' acts described herein were reckless, willful, malicious, and so extreme and outrageous as to warrant the imposition of punitive damages. Wherefore, respectfully, the plaintiffs request this honorable court to enter a judgment against the defendants jointly and severally in an amount of presumed damages to be determined by the jury at trial, together with all other compensatory damages, punitive damages, pre- and post-judgment interest, the cost of the suit, and such other relief as the court deems just and appropriate. Count 2, defamation. Plaintiffs hereby incorporate by reference the above paragraphs of this complaint as if the same were set forth fully herein. The defendant's statements are described herein were defamatory, and that the defendants falsely, recklessly, and or in a negligent manner, with want of reasonable care and diligence to ascertain the truth, stated, asserted, suggested, and implied that plaintiffs had bullied and harassed Rebecca Hoover and caused Rebecca Hoover to commit suicide. At all times relevant here too. Thank you, guys. At all times relevant here too, the defendants were acting individually, in concert with one another, and in their capacity as agents of the corporate defendant, Green Bean Coffee House. Publishing the statements on the internet websites accessible to millions of people worldwide on a daily basis constituted publication. Furthermore, defendants' statements continue to be published to the internet websites accessible to millions of people worldwide on a daily basis. And for anyone that hasn't been here the whole time, this lawsuit has been going on for 7 years. The statements still continue. And we had BJ Harpster in here, who, maybe it wasn't him, maybe it wasn't him. But there are individuals who are still continuing to say that Becky Hoover was bullied to death with no proof. As a result of the statements, I'm just going to skim through a couple of these. Count 3, false light, invasion of privacy. Plaintiff hereby incorporates by reference. I'm just going to skim through a couple of these. Defendant's statements and assertions described herein would be highly offensive to a reasonable person, as those statements asserted and implied that plaintiffs committed criminal harassment of Rebecca Hoover on a daily basis for almost 2 years, and that criminal harassment by plaintiffs caused Rebecca to take her life. Publishing the statements to the internet accessible to millions of people worldwide on a daily basis constituted publication. As a direct and proximate result of defendants' false and malicious portrayal of plaintiffs, the plaintiffs have sustained severe personal injury, including but not limited to. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Yeah, I might have missed. Yeah, Becky Hoover. Yeah, not Steph Hite. As a direct result, okay, the personal injuries, but not limited to, depression, anxiety, insomnia, irreparable damage to their reputation, and loss of standing in the community. Thank you, Should Be Ashamed, for your super chat. Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Remember that? Another one bites the dust. And another one, and another one, another one bites the dust. We can't play it here, so I have to sing it. And you'll have to deal with my singing. The plaintiffs continue to sustain the aforementioned injuries due to the ongoing widespread dissemination of plaintiffs' falsehoods on various media outlets in the internet worldwide. The defendant's portrayal of plaintiffs was reckless, willful, malicious, and so extreme and outrageous as to warrant the imposition of punitive damages. The next count. Business disparagement. Plaintiffs hereby incorporate the above reference, the above paragraphs of this complaint as it were set forth fully herein. The defendants have willfully, repeatedly, and without justification made false statements described herein to the public and to others in the business community, for the purpose of causing injury to trade secrets, business reputation, and goodwill. As a result, the plaintiffs have suffered a loss of business and damages to their reputation within the relevant market. The defendant's conduct was reckless, willful, malicious, and so extreme and outrageous as to warrant the imposition of punitive damages. The next count, torturous interference. The defendant's conduct constitutes torturous interference with plaintiff's past, present, and future contractual rights and relationships with its existing and prospective clients. As a direct and approximate result of the defendant's wrongful conduct, plaintiffs have suffered immediate and irreparable harm and damage. Wherefore, the plaintiffs respectfully request that this honorable court enter judgment in plaintiff's favor and against the defendants in an amount to be determined at trial and award all economic and compensatory damages plus interest and costs, and further requests award of punitive damages. Now that is the filing. Again, this was filed December 16th, 2019 at 3:23 p.m. I have legally obtained this filing. I paid for this filing in the Prothonotari's office at the Blair County Courthouse. There's a court date on Monday. It is not going to be going headfirst into anything that you guys would expect. I hear that there's a bunch of different motions and maybe a motion for sanctions already. But this lawsuit has been dragged out for 7 years. This should have never been this long. But Barbecue Lady, I will be there. I will be taking notes. And I will be coming back and reporting an update. And this is just a friendly reminder. You cannot go onto the internet or a phone call or a text message, but you cannot publicly speak or write defamatory statements. Okay? It's not true. Nobody bullied Becky Hoover. And through the course of this trial, those facts will be provided. There is no evidence that Becky Hoover was ever bullied to death. Her husband was deposed. Her mother was deposed. Other people were deposed. And we are going to report the facts. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate all